Part two. What now? Yeah, I'm gonna do this so you kind of know it's not the same video. Okay, so just a follow up is they're spread too thin, United States, and they know it's kind of important to have kind of countries and their militaries and whatever force exists, military or economic, to police the world a little bit. So when you negotiate as either nations or conglomerates of nations, say we understand the United States has had a big responsibility, and it's and they're in the industry of war, so it's gonna. Trump is trying to bring industries like car, automobile back there, but one of the ways Canada, for example, can negotiate is the things that they're not doing for certain industries, like oil or automobile, is they could agree in a negotiation to send people to teach them and help, and even how to build things and do it there, because I think when countries are more self-sufficient, they're less likely to go rob their neighbors. There's that could be part of the negotiation, but another part of the negotiation is to demilitarize or to get them out of the industry of war or weapons, which is going to be helpful in pretty much everything to avoid World War III. So, but that you do a little bit at a time in your negotiations. Whoever is negotiating with the states, whether it's European Union or an individual country or whatever, but they've got to do it too, because they need to also not invest more in defense. But the thing is again, like I've said, a lot of the conflicts in the world come from countries like the USA, and then them expecting their allies to kind of act like their bodyguards. So if everybody can de-escalate, and part of it is, the best military deterrent is agreements that include demilitarize, stop doing weapons of mass destruction, or stop thinking that you're Homo sapiens and yet violence comes so naturally to you. So again, when you negotiate, say, we'll take over that policing of the world, we have a good relationship with those countries, and you have been iffy there, or you've never had it, or it's getting worse. So that's one of the things. So to help them balance their issues, and again, it's normal that they'll go through a civil war. They need to, get their militaries back there and stop trying to grow or control things. And there's a lot of momentum with these elites that control governments in their manifest destiny, is they have to get away from that. And that takes a little bit at a time, because it's been their worldview. You can't expect them to kind of understand how to reference the outside world. And every time Trump, here's a pattern. Every time Trump accuses somebody of something or name calls something, it's probably because he's feeling guilty that word could apply to him, or some people around him have been suggesting he is, or it's about to happen that he's blamed for something, or he's called this, so he'll label somebody else that right away. So that's one of his childish patterns. But you have to admit as well that you're dealing with children who are spoiled, and in part they're spoiled by robbing their own citizens, because when there's that big of a divide in a culture, no matter how much pride you want to take in Canada or your own countries, when there's still a divide between rich and poor, that's kind of how you can measure, let's say, the health or the teamwork or the strength of patriotism, because patriotism is not towards a flag, it's towards the people.